What if turning 70 wasn't the beginning of the end, but the start of something incredible? Too often, society tells us that growing older means slowing down, giving up, or stepping aside. But what if that narrative is completely wrong? You see, across the country, a small but remarkable group of seniors, just 5%, are defying the odds. They're not just aging gracefully, they're thriving. They're doing things most people assume are no longer possible after 70, and doing them with strength, confidence, and joy. And here's the good news: you can join them. This video isn't about unrealistic fitness goals or comparing yourself to anyone else. Instead, it's about practical, everyday things, simple habits and abilities that quietly shape the quality of your life. From getting up off the floor with ease to finding renewed mental clarity and purpose, we'll explore 5 key indicators that show how well you're really aging. These aren't just random challenges, they're signs of independence, vitality, and inner strength. Stick with me until the end, because what you'll discover might just change how you view aging forever. You'll walk away with tools, encouragement, and a renewed sense of control over your life, no matter your age. So before we dive in, take a deep breath and remind yourself, it's never too late. Your best years might just be the ones ahead. Now let's begin, starting with something so deceptively simple, it could reveal more about your health than any doctor's visit. 1. The floor test, a hidden measure of total body strength. Imagine this: you're at home, maybe reaching for something that fell under the couch or playing with your grandchild. You decide to sit on the floor, and then, without thinking, you try to get back up. Can you do it without using your hands, a chair, or someone else for support? It sounds simple, but for the vast majority of people over 70, it's surprisingly difficult. This small action, sitting down on the floor and getting back up unaided, is what we call the floor test, and it might be one of the clearest indicators of your overall physical function. Balance, flexibility, leg strength, core control, and joint health all play a role in this one movement. In fact, doctors in both the US and abroad have used variations of this test to predict long-term independence and even life expectancy in older adults. But why does this matter so much? Because the ability to get up from the floor signals that your body is still coordinated, responsive, and strong. When that ability fades, what often follows is a quiet loss of confidence. People become more cautious, less active, and gradually more dependent on others, even when they don't need to be. The good news? This skill can be retrained. Just like you wouldn't expect to lift a heavy weight on the first try, you shouldn't expect to ace the floor test if you haven't practiced it in years. Start with small movements. Use a yoga mat or thick rug. Sit down slowly, then try to stand using as little support as possible. If you need a chair or a wall at first, that's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Even just 5 minutes a day of focused movement, like bodyweight squats, core stability exercises, and light stretching, can make a dramatic difference over time. This isn't about becoming an athlete. It's about maintaining the freedom to live your life on your terms. And here's something deeply American about this idea. Independence matters. Whether it's driving your own car, getting your own mail, or simply moving through your home safely, these little freedoms add up to a bigger sense of dignity. The floor test, humble as it may seem, helps you hold on to that freedom. So don't think of getting up from the floor as just a physical task. Think of it as a vote of confidence in your future, a reminder that strength isn't just for the young, and that you're capable of far more than you may realize. Now, are you ready to test yourself? Lay down a towel or a mat. Take your time and see where you are today. Not to judge yourself, but to begin a quiet journey back to strength. Because when you can rise from the floor, on your own, you're not just lifting your body, you're lifting your spirit. 2. The power in your hands. Carrying strength and what it says about your body. Have you ever noticed how something as ordinary as carrying a grocery bag can suddenly feel like a workout? For many older adults, this seemingly simple task becomes surprisingly taxing, and that's no coincidence. Grip strength is one of the most overlooked yet powerful indicators of overall health as we age. In fact, many health professionals today are calling it the handshake of longevity. Why? Because your hands don't work alone when you're lifting something. They recruit your arms, shoulders, back, and even your core and legs to stabilize your movement. It's a full body effort packed into one everyday motion. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Studies from the National Institutes of Health and other medical bodies have shown that a weaker grip is linked to increased risks of heart disease, cognitive decline, and even earlier mortality. That doesn't mean we should panic, but it does mean we need to pay attention. Think about it. When carrying a shopping bag feels unstable or opening a jar becomes frustrating, it's not just an inconvenience, it's your body sending you a message. But here's the encouraging part. Like any other muscle, grip strength can be trained no matter your age, and you don't need expensive equipment to do it. Keep a softball or a small hand gripper near your favorite chair and give it a squeeze during TV time. Use light hand weights or resistance bands a few times a week. Even filling a tote bag with a few cans and carrying it across the room can be a gentle, effective exercise. And let's not forget, this kind of strength doesn't just help you carry objects, it helps you carry your independence. When your hands are strong, you're more confident. You can open your own jars, take care of your pets, hold on to railings securely, and even maintain better balance if you stumble. There's also an emotional component. In American culture, independence is more than a value. It's a symbol of identity. The ability to care for ourselves, to do small tasks without asking for help, feeds our sense of purpose and dignity. So when your grip is strong, you're not just holding objects. You're holding on to self-respect, freedom, and vitality. If you're unsure where you stand, try this mini test. Pick up a grocery bag with 5 to 10 pounds of weight. Carry it from one end of your kitchen to the other. How do your hands feel? Your shoulders? Your breath? Whatever the result, take it not as a pass or fail, but as a starting point. Because every small improvement adds up. And every squeeze, every lift, every step you take towards strength is a step away from dependence. You have more power in your hands than you think, and it's never too late to take hold of it. 3. Climbing stairs, a window into your heart and leg health. Let's talk about stairs. That familiar staircase in your home, the steps outside your favorite diner, or the short climb up to your front porch. Once upon a time, you likely didn't even think twice. But now, do you hesitate before taking that first step up? The truth is, your ability to climb stairs, especially without needing to pause for breath or hold tightly to the railing, is one of the clearest, simplest reflections of your heart and leg health. It's more than just a physical challenge. It's a full-body diagnostic test hiding in plain sight. When you climb, your heart rate rises, your lungs work harder, your leg muscles engage, and your balance is tested. If that process leaves you winded, wobbly, or sore, it's not just aging, it's a signal. A signal that your cardiovascular system may be slowing down, or that your leg strength has faded more than you realize. Unfortunately, many people respond to this signal by doing the one thing that makes it worse: avoiding stairs altogether. They take the elevator. They choose one-level homes. They stop going places where steps are involved. While it may seem safer in the short term, over time, this avoidance leads to even more weakness, less mobility, and a shrinking world. But there's good news. You can turn that trend around. Just as you can rebuild hand strength and floor mobility, you can retrain your body to handle stairs again, one step at a time. Start small. If you live in a one-story home, find a low step or curb and practice slow step-ups with support nearby. Aim for consistency, not speed. Combine that with simple leg exercises like sit-to-stand routines from a sturdy chair or mini squats holding on to the kitchen counter. Add light walking to keep your heart engaged. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day can begin to reawaken both your stamina and muscle tone. And here's a powerful way to reframe the challenge. Climbing stairs isn't about proving something, it's about preserving something. When you climb without fear, you're preserving your independence, your confidence, and your freedom to go wherever life leads, whether it's to your grandchild's school play or simply to the upstairs guest room. In American culture, mobility is everything. We drive, we walk, we explore. Losing the ability to navigate steps isn't just a physical limitation. It can quietly become a psychological barrier. But when you take the stairs, even slowly, you're reminding your body and your mind that you're still moving forward. So next time you see a staircase, don't see an obstacle, see an opportunity. Every step is a chance to build endurance, to strengthen your legs, and to keep your heart healthy and engaged. You're not climbing just to reach the top. You're climbing to keep living fully, freely, and fearlessly. 4. A sharp mind. The resilience of the brain at any age. As we get older, it's easy to focus on what's happening to our bodies. Aching knees, slower reflexes, less endurance. But what about our minds? Mental clarity, memory, and the ability to think sharply are just as vital as muscle and bone. A strong memory isn't just about remembering where you left your glasses or what you had for lunch yesterday. It's a signal, one that reflects the overall health of your brain, your emotional well-being, and even how well your heart and lungs are working to deliver oxygen to your brain. In fact, your memory can quietly reveal more about your aging process than any physical test. A simple challenge? Try recalling 5 unrelated words like apple, river, blanket, calendar, spoon. Wait 5 minutes, then try to repeat them. If that feels harder than it used to, you're not alone. But don't accept it as inevitable. Here's the truth. The brain, like any other part of the body, needs exercise. When we stop challenging our minds, when we settle into passive routines or limit our conversations, our brain function starts to decline. Not because of age, but because of disuse. Fortunately, there's a wealth of ways to keep your mind agile. Read books that make you think, especially ones outside your comfort zone. Play memory games or try puzzles like crosswords or Sudoku. Learn something new, a language, a musical instrument, or even a few dance steps. Engage in deep, meaningful conversations that stretch your thinking. Even journaling your thoughts or recalling the details of your day out loud can stimulate neural connections. Physical health also plays a key role in brain health. Regular movement, such as walking, light cardio, or gentle yoga, improves circulation, reducing inflammation, and delivering fresh oxygen and nutrients to the brain. Studies from major health institutions show a clear link between active lifestyles and reduced risk of cognitive decline. And let's not overlook the power of social connection. Staying engaged with friends, family, and community groups keeps your mind socially and emotionally stimulated. Isolation, on the other hand, can be a fast track to memory loss and depression. In American life, we often define ourselves by what we do. After retirement, many people fear they'll lose that identity. But you don't stop being sharp just because you stop working. In fact, you now have more freedom than ever to explore, question, reflect, and grow. Curiosity doesn't retire, it evolves. So if you've ever caught yourself saying, "I'm just getting forgetful with age," take a step back and challenge that thought. Instead, ask, "Am I giving my mind the attention it deserves?" Your memory is a living part of you, and with a little care, stimulation, and intention, it can remain one of your greatest strengths, guiding you not just to recall the past, but to create new meaningful moments every day. 5. Living with purpose. The key to longevity and wellness. We often think of longevity as a matter of good genes, a balanced diet, and maybe a bit of luck. But there's one factor that consistently shows up in research and in real life that we rarely talk about: having a sense of purpose. Purpose isn't just a lofty philosophical idea. It's practical, it's powerful. It gives structure to your day, meaning to your actions, and energy to your body. In fact, studies from institutions like the National Institute on Aging and the University of Michigan have found that seniors who maintain a strong sense of purpose live longer, report better mental health, and recover more quickly from illness or injury. So what does living with purpose look like after 65? It doesn't mean reinventing the world or setting out to climb Mount Everest, unless that's what lights you up. It might mean something as simple as growing tomatoes in your backyard, mentoring a younger neighbor, showing up for your church community, or making your grandchildren laugh. Purpose comes in many forms, and it evolves over time. After retirement, or after children grow up and move away, many older adults face a quiet loss of structure. Days start blending together. Goals feel less defined. But that doesn't mean purpose is gone. It just means it's time to redefine it. Start by asking yourself, what do I still love to do? Who needs me? What brings me joy or peace? Your answers don't need to be dramatic. They just need to be honest. Maybe it's volunteering at the local library or food bank. Maybe it's writing your life story so your family can hold on to your legacy. Maybe it's simply making a daily phone call to someone who's lonely. What's important is that you have something to wake up for. Something that says, today matters. In American culture, we value productivity. But as we age, that productivity doesn't have to mean paychecks or promotions. It can mean meaningful contribution. The act of being present, involved, and needed is profoundly nourishing, not just to others, but to yourself. And let's not overlook how deeply purpose affects your body. People who feel purposeful are more likely to move more, eat better, manage stress, and engage in social connections. Why? Because when you care about life, you care for yourself. Purpose gives you momentum. So if you've ever thought, what now? Don't let that question defeat you. Let it guide you. There is still so much to experience, give, and explore. You are not at the end. You are in a new chapter. And with the right mindset, it can be the most meaningful one yet. Remember, it's not just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. And nothing does that quite like having a reason to get up, to give, and to grow. By now, you've seen the 5 key indicators that only a small percentage of seniors over 70 can still do. Rising from the floor, carrying everyday items with ease, climbing stairs without fear, staying mentally sharp, and living with a clear sense of purpose. But this isn't about measuring yourself against others. It's about making a choice to refuse the outdated idea that aging means giving up, a choice to take ownership of your health, your mind, your independence, and your future. Whether you're doing all 5 of these things already or struggling with just one, remember, it's never too late to improve. The body and mind are astonishingly responsive to small, consistent efforts. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to begin. And here's the truth that many overlook. Thriving after 70 isn't about luck. It's about intention. It's about creating habits that support vitality and refusing to shrink your world when life invites you to expand it. So take that first step today. Practice standing from the floor, squeeze a softball, take the stairs instead of the elevator, even if just once. Call a friend, reignite a passion, find your purpose, or help someone else find theirs. If this message resonates with you, please like this video so others can find it too. Leave a comment and share your thoughts. What's one goal you're holding on to this year? And don't forget to subscribe for more content designed to inspire strength, resilience, and joy in every season of life. Because the best years, they're not behind you. They might be right in front of you. Let's live like it.